I'm going to say this, and then I ain't going to say nothing else. I don't know if there are any soulmates left. Now, I do believe that soulmates are the people who you meet going out of this life. Or if you met the person and y'all go out of life together, like y'all met when you were really young and y'all spend the rest of your lives together, right? People that were married 30, 40, 50, 60 some years. Clearly they're soulmates. But I believe for the rest of us, there either is not any more soulmates left because of the way the world has changed. And so instead of people necessarily looking for their soulmates, they're just looking to partner up. And another thing I notice is that there are just as many single, lonely men as there are single, lonely women. And although in both those pools, there's probably somebody in the men pool and somebody in the women's pool who matches, like millions of people. But what's unfortunate about that is that love and relationships have become less important to people, and it's growing less and less important. I know, and I believe this, and I know if you one of my followers, or you're one of my subscribers, or you're one of the people who support me, listen, I already know God does not intend for man to be alone. I know that in my gut of guts, in my soul of soul, I know that. But what I also know is so many people, single people, are lonely and brokenhearted and sad and are tired of waking up by themselves. And that's from the youngest to the oldest. And the reason it doesn't feel right is because this is not the way God has it planned for us. This is not the way He wanted to be for us. When things don't feel right, it is because it is out of order with God. He's not the author of confusion. And we're also living in a distracted time right now, here at the beginning of 2025. So many of us are on social media. Many of us are on dating sites, trying to meet that someone, trying to connect with that someone, determined that we are going to find a partner, determined that we're going to find a soulmate, determined that we're going to find someone to go out of this thing called life with. And what's so unfortunate about that is time is passing by. And that makes me sad. It makes me sad because I don't want to have to make a choice of whether I stand up for myself and stand up for the things that are important to me in a relationship. If that's gotta, I don't want that to be what comes between me having a partner. I should be able to stand up for what I believe in. I should be able to stand for what's important to me. I should be able to have that. And I can't give that up. Even if it means going out of this life just surrounded by my children. Even if it means not having another hand to hold, not having another set of lips to kiss, not having shoulders to hug, not having someone to spend the most intimate time that humans spend together, that people spend together, that, I mean, all living species spend together, and that's private time. I don't wanna have to separate my values from my relationship. I just don't. I shouldn't have to. And so it's finding that person that won't make you. It's finding that person that will say to you, you all right with me. Just right, just the way you are. And me being able to accept that as well. But the other spectrum of that is trading in your values. Like, for example, do I want someone who talks rough and nasty? Like, I don't. Do I want someone who is unreasonable? I don't. So it's choosing between those balances. And in some degree, I will say this, to some degree, people that have lasted in relationships have learned that. They've learned to compromise. They've learned to argue and go into other rooms. They've learned that they're not going to love each other every day. In fact, they've learned they're not even going to like each other every day. They might love each other every day, but they're not going to like each other every day. They've learned that. And those of us who are out here that are especially up in age, I'm 60, for God's sake. And I have to admit, and I don't want to get emotional, that I'm scared. Ooh, that didn't feel right. It felt so vulnerable to say that. But I'm scared of not finding my person. Because I know they're out there and I'm scared. And I know a lot of you are too. And the reason I know that is because I can feel you like you feel what I'm saying. I'm just not sure as I used to be. I'm not as confident as I used to be. I'm certainly not as bold as I used to be. And yep, I'm scared of leaving this world alone. Have an amazing day.